Hello, welcome to my first ever attempt at doing any kind of vlog. So in my October TBR, I had mentioned that I was thinking of checking out the Haunted Hoo-Ha, and so unanimously everybody wanted to have me vlog the experience. So send good vibes. I'm about to dive into it. It's only supposed to take like an hour and a half to read it, so it looks like it has 17 chapters, and so I'll check in maybe every 4 chapters. So you'll get like 3 little check-ins and then final thoughts. I have no intention of keeping this spoiler free. It's a 75-page book you can get it however you want. I got it for my Kindle because I refuse to own the physical copy of this book. I highly doubt that I'm going to love it. I think this is going to be a masochistic exercise in getting myself to read something that I'm not going to enjoy. So that's my current prediction. Let me know your prediction. Do you think I'm going to love this book, hate this book, feel ambivalent about this book? Go ahead and guess down in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the first check-in. Talk to you soon. Okay, so we're out in the living room, and I know I said I wouldn't check in until after chapter 4, but I'm in the first chapter, I think on the 2nd or 3rd page, and I'm confused, and I'm just going to read a quote for you. I'll put on a good dramatic voice. Are you ready? Okay. Yeah, she said, spreading her legs across my lap. Who else has a haunted V? She flattened the bush of pubic hair and spread the lips to examine it. My other boyfriends thought it was kind of sexy. Oh, what in the actual flying did I get myself into with this? Okay, I still haven't made it to chapter 4. I'm in chapter 3 and okay, so we know her hoo-ha is haunted, and they did the nasty after he figured it out, him being the boyfriend because his girlfriend's name is Stacy, and he felt things moving inside her, touching the tip of his member, if you will, and just now they're not having sex and it's been a month, and so I tell her we can do other things. Both of us are interested in giving anal sex, but neither of us are interested in receiving it. She's tried her strap-on with me before, and it was far from pleasurable. I'm not going to do that again. This is just escalating so quickly, but okay. He's scared to do the nasty in her hoo-ha because he felt ghosty things in her. And now we're talking about strap-ons and stuff. Okay. BRB. Glowworm? Okay, so we've decided that we're gonna do oral things, which love that for you. But Stacy calls her the spot on a woman that a man has a hard time finding. She calls it her glowworm. If you didn't hear that correctly, I said glowworm. And so literally they're doing some times, and it says, I go back to the glowworm and suck it into my mouth, slurping it and the skin around it as deep into my mouth as it will stretch. Then I release it, then suck it in again. I'm a raging homo, so I really don't know female anatomy all that well. So I'm just like, is that how it works? I'm just gonna keep going, I guess. So I finished the first bit that I said I would finish. I am up through chapter 4 at the beginning of chapter 5. And I I don't know why I said I would read this. I will finish it. There are only like 40 minutes left, so I'll do it. But okay, so Stacy and Homeboy were playing the glowworm sucking game, and then something inside of her started basically pushing out. So she looked 9 months pregnant, and then a skeleton climbed out of her hoo-ha. And now we're at a brewery just talking about how did this come to be? How long has she had a haunted hoo-ha? And it's been ever since she was a little girl. She thought she had just an imaginary friend that would climb out of her special place, shall we say, when she was a little girl, and she would like hang out and chat with that friend. And yes, and people used to pay to listen to her haunted hoo-ha until a rumor went around that she just had a speaker shoved up inside of her playing pre-recorded sounds. So I guess I'll keep going and update you in another 4 chapters. Send good vibes. Okay, time for another quote. So Stacy has now decided that she wants her boyfriend to go up inside of her to try to see what it looks like in there. You ready? Then she pulls apart her lips as wide as she can, about 14 inches. Her hips pop out of joint like the jaws of a snake opening up for its prey. Okay, so I'm officially halfway in, and I don't know who wrote this book. Why? I have many questions, many concerns. So Stacy got her boyfriend to go inside of her to check it out. He saw a light at the end of her tunnel, if you will, and he gets sketched out because it's like squeezing him. And so he tries to back out, but she literally like stands up and jumps on him and just like, boom. And he goes inside, falls inside. There's a whole world. There's a cabin, an axe. He like uses an axe to like climb his way back up and like pop out of her. She's driving when he tries to come out of her. So she like screams and says no. And now they're chatting and she feels proud of herself that she has a world inside of her womb. I don't. So I will check in with you when I'm 75% of the way in, and then just that final push to final thoughts, I suppose. Send help. I've made it through the next chunk like I said I would, and so the boy's name is Steve. Apparently I'd forgotten that already because oops. So Steve and Stacy. So Stacy decides that she wants Steve to go back in and explore her inner world. So she disappears and buys supplies and all of that kind of stuff, and it's just she basically coerces him by guilt tripping him to go back to explore the inner works of her womb world. And so now we're just exploring. There seems to be some kind of weird black cancerous something going on. We find Stacy's former imaginary friend, and we're following creepy, latexy feeling demon girl to her mansion on a hill inside of his girlfriend's womb. And I'm just like, who wrote this? Who was it written for? Why? But I'll see you on the other side, because I'm just gonna finish this last chunk, I guess, and I'll come back for final thoughts. So I was gonna wait till final thoughts, and then I got to this scene, and it I guess it just needs to be shared. So, Steve has turned into one of the weird, like, latexy people inside of Stacy's womb world, because those skeletons that climb out of people are, I guess, from people that she consumed into her vag. So his skeleton, like, pulls out of the back of his body and is now one of the weird animated skeletons that walks around. And he is a weird latexy person. And he's now banging her latexy imaginary friend that lives in here. And as he is finishing, shall we say, my testicles crack open and release 2 raw eggs that goo up and out of my shaft into Fig. She closes her eyes and leans back as the yolks sink deep inside of her. As the yolks pop, she lets out a sigh and curls her head deep into my shoulder, tears dripping down her cheek, pooling onto my neck. Okay, so I finished the book, and let's just outline what happened in this book. So apparently, homegirl Stacy has a womb world within her, and it is hypothesized in the book that this is because she is from an Asian country, and said Asian country was having a problem with people starving, and so there were a few mutant women who had fertile worlds within themselves that people could go live inside of, because then you only needed to feed the woman because the people living in her womb are supported somehow via osmosis. I don't know, like a baby. Yes, and so as people lived in these womb worlds over time, they kind of like mutated and formed these weird, creepy, latexy thingies, and these latex demon thingies occur when the skeleton like leaves their body, and the skeleton is like an animated separate entity. And so what had happened is Steve went into Stacy's V, and her former imaginary friend Fig, said latexy woman, apparently secretes these uber powerful pheromones that cause mutations in male DNA. So then Steve mutated into a weird latexy person, and now her uber pheromones, they're in love. They get married inside of Stacy's womb, and Stacy used to hear Fig crying from her womby region, and then she heard Fig turn to singing, and so that sent Stacy into a rage. She goes and has a one-night stand with some random dude in a bar, gets impregnated, and now the secret pocket womb world has moved into her baby. And so now Steve and Fig and their soon-to-be child are living inside of Stacy's baby's womb world. This book is not good. It's not good. I did not enjoy my reading experience. It's just weird for the sake of being weird, and the fact that it's like some white man writing about womb worlds and women. I don't know. It's just, it comes off really kind of, so I would not recommend you read this. I read it so you don't have to suffer. I hope that you find this vlog entertaining and that my pain was for a good cause and that you were entertained. But like, it's really bad. And I don't know what else to say besides that. It's just fucking weird and gross and just no, absolutely not. And so with that, I think I'm going to end this vlog. I'm going to go scrub out my eyeballs by watching some other random booktube videos, perhaps. And maybe you should do the same after watching this vlog. And yeah, so, if you've made it to the end of this vlog, maybe leave a skeleton emoji in the comments down below, or your favorite part of this vlog to make me feel like I'm supported in my masochistic endeavors. But I'm just going to end the vlog with that. Like it if you like it. Subscribe if you want more of not this, other kinds of books. Yes. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!